you won't have that impact and that political leadership and that impactful speeches and all the achievements, final destination and social welfare and the society equality. We will do each and everything for our nation. Thank you. Your vote for me is your vote for you.
With the recent crises that we have seen, like Bangladesh crisis, recent attacks, terrorist attacks in our border, Kashmir, and so many other inter-country or inter-terrestrial.
Many politicians are involved in some kind of parties who are having a criminal history.
And we talk about all the other countries' situation. For example, neighboring countries, we talk about Sri Lanka. What's the situation there? That how prime ministers and president's house has been, trapped by the, protesters and all. How Bangladesh, we saw that what is the situation right now. Apart from seeing all these, Mr. Brijesh is trying to claim that he wants to cut the budget.
Many politicians are involved in some kind of parties who are having a criminal history.
With that geographical setup, we have to plan a unified structure to connect our rivers in that situation so that we can get equal water in every state and equal.
We will have also the same proposal as the Davedar of the prime ministerial post, right? And so first of all, I'll be just, claiming for my seat. You will be claiming for your seat. Please take your zone. Assalamu alaikum, namaskar, sat shri akal, khamma gani, jai hind, good morning, good afternoon, amchi Hindustan. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Abdullah and today I am here standing, sharing this great, beautiful time and great stage with you to claim one thing, that I am here for the prime ministerial seat. Not the prime ministerial seat, but the Lok Sabha seat, as I will be the first of all MP member of parliament, then I will be PM, Prime Minister of India. I have no dream to be the Prime Minister of India, but I have a dream to serve my nation. Because I believe the nation has been deprived from multiple opportunities and multiple achievements, where I will be cooperating myself and I will be sacrificing each and every moment of my life to actually take and build up my nation, to bring up my nation to that level where we will not call America superpower, but America will call India superpower, where Pakistan will not have the dare and courage to attack any time, or where the China will not actually do some kind of crusades and all, where every country will have to surrender in front of India in terms of ammunition, education, all the policies and all the achievements, final destination and social welfare and the society equality. We will do each and everything for our nation. Thank you. Your vote for me is your vote for you.
Good afternoon to all gentlemen sitting here, and as my party has chosen me for this prime ministerial candidate for this Lok Sabha elections. So as I have been nominated, I feel privileged, and I feel privileged just for the sake of entire population of this country, which is the larger and which is the one of the prime and youngest population in this world, and that is very important for me. And I would like to discuss few issues which our country is facing right now, and that issues can be solved in the near future to just protect our country in many terms. And I'll start with the employment. Right now we are facing a major chunk of employment crisis in our country, right? So many of we are colleges graduates, like each and every year we are having 8 lakhs of graduates in our country, but they are not equally getting the high paid or the desired jobs that you can say. So employment is a very prime condition which is not fulfilled right now in the country. Second is the monetary policy crisis. Right now, our startup, our businesses and our many other small and medium scale job operators which are operating their businesses in the country, they are not equally getting loans. So this monetary policy crisis from the banking sector and the other financial sector, we can have to regulate it. We have to provide equal opportunity in terms of getting loans to all the sectoral dividends, to provide them and become the better marketing and this business hub in our country. Next thing is that India is very far and lacking behind the FDI. Like, we are not getting so much investment in terms of international remittances, international you can say investment. Singapore is the only country which is investing higher in the country. We want our country to get it to the level to defeat China and to surpass the level of other Asian countries, right? So we have to work also in that. Next thing is that our defense policy. Right now, we have increased the budget, which is the 9% of the Indian budget. But with the recent crisis that we have seen, like Bangladesh crisis, recent attacks, terrorist attacks in our border, Kashmir, and so many other inter-country or inter-terrestrial agitations and other movements which is currently going on. So to deal with it, we need a very specified kind of policy which is more or less very structured and which is kind of favored with the protection of our country and with the youth and every other society of our country, so that we can operate our system and our country very well. Lastly, I would like to touch upon things, very important element of our society, which is women. They are equally not treated. Right now, only 24% of the women are getting corporate jobs, which is very less in terms of European countries, USA and other developing countries and developed countries. We want to pay equal respect. We want to provide them with equal opportunity. And just like it happened in Kolkata, it was very shameful for our country. So we don't want things to happen like that. So this is my structured things that I want to opt for. And I would like to not vote for me just for the sake of voting me or for the value engagement, just for the sake of your protection or your value addition. I just want your cooperation in that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, Mr. Mohit claimed that yes, his party or he is going to bring so many policies which will help us to bring up and to be strong and to strengthen ourselves. I agree somehow, but I disagree as well. He said that there is lack of employment and jobs, but he did not highlight one of the important point, that was skilling up the youths. Why not? We must have the practical skilling up centers where we can re-skill, up-skill ourselves and our youths as well. Now, talking about the lack of jobs in India, yes, we have. But talking about the skilled youths, lack of skilled youths, yes, we have. Why? Because there are no specified skill center. Students go to the schools, go to the colleges, they hold a sheet of paper, come out of the college and they show, Mummy, main pass ho gaya. In Bihar, students come out of the schools and colleges, Mummy, main pass ho gaya. In Uttar Pradesh, they come out of school and colleges, Mummy, main pass ho gaya. Multiple cities and districts are there in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and even in some metro cities as well and states, UTs as well. They are distributing degrees and sheets of paper, just like they are distributing Balu Shahi. They are distributing sweets and chocolates and toffees. I want to work on and I want to highlight it. I will regulate my nation in that direction so that there should not be any kind of cheating and any kind of mafia-giri or any kind of fraud in terms of providing education degrees and literate degrees. The first highlighting point. Another, Mr. Mohit, very, with very honesty and honestly, he described one thing, that the marginalized sections in the women. As he mentioned, that 24% of the women are in the corporate job. And he also highlighted one of the very heart-melting incident of the Kolkata. But I would like to also highlight here one point, and that's very important point. I will bring some kind of awareness schemes and campaignings where we can aware the people, please be with your daughters and sisters. Be shoulder to shoulder. Nowadays, I would like to highlight one point. 5 lakhs girls are feticided in India in a year. If I take you to the history from 1990 to right now, the Indians have feticided 1 million daughters, 1 million sisters, 1 million female kids and childs. In the zygotes, that's called, abortion, unfortunately. In the name of abortion, we have killed 10 lakhs girls. So why there is a kind of mindset that we are killing our daughters? Even we are Hindu mythology, Muslim mythology, each and every section religion says ki beti to ghar ka Lakshmi hoti hai. But we kill them before we welcome them into the world. So I want to actually bring up some kind of awareness campaigning where we can have great mindset and the great mentality. I will have that approach. If you agree, then you can go with me as well.
Apprehend his point of view and just not taking things to the different level. But there is one thought, like if you have to be a society just for the sake of livable society or just for the sake of developed society, you have to. And India have a lot of sacrifices. Like India in the past ruled by the British, and some other incident happened in the past which was so much exploited in every way. So I would like to differ with some sort of elements which was regulated in the constitution, which is the education, which the constitution has made a concurrent list, which means that it is partially with the state and with the center as well. So just making a policy and making this prosperous policy, it can't work. See, recently we have seen that in the UPSC there was an incident. Many aspirants died in the very saddening incident it was. And why we see this kind of incident? Like why there is a inclination towards a particular sector or a particular job? Just because of power, because of corruption, or because of what? So we have to just cross-check that mindset, and merely education policy or awareness can't eliminate that mindset. So my point of view is that state and center has to contribute. Like recently Niti Aayog is working very well. They are initiating policies and initiating reports of every state. In that you can find out state by state and how that GDP, how that literacy level, how the employment level, how the production and manufacturing sector, each state wise they have developed. And in that you can find which state is doing well and which state is doing very bad. So we have to not just only make a policy, we just have to work that is it reaching to the end level or not. And for that we need a very structured bureaucratic setup. And with the current bureaucratic setup, things are as far as I think this is you can say not as much approachable. People are right now, like we have to approach a DM of a district. We are restricted. We are not like giving easy ways to go and just talk to him, right? There are very restrictions. So why don't we just try to in which center has to propose, so that the PMO has to reach and make a policy that ease of living should be achieved and ease of approaching should be achieved. I would like to work on that. I would like everyone in the district be as a nodal officer, not just be called as a DM, just a nodal officer, and they are responsible for each and every elements of the society, right? We have to change that notion. In that we have to work. Second thing is that we are very structured in terms of you can say population, but they are not formal. The jobs are not formal. You can see with the benefit of formal jobs, they are equally participating in paying taxes. Right now, casual jobs and informal sector jobs are higher. So they are not equally participating in direct taxes. Other taxes, GST are fine, but they are not contributing in the direct taxes, right? So I would like to make an streamline like UPI. They would be in a channel that there would be a mechanism to have participate in that structure, and they would be participating in the tax structure, so that India will get so much revenue that they can also increase the budget and they will eventually put out to the citizen of India, right? Next thing is that yes, due to the scarcity of many things, we have a different land structure, geographical structure, as we have seen in Kerala, landslide. And due to that disaster, many things happen. Like suppose we have built a building, someday it collapses. There is a loss of human finances and everything. India is facing it every year. In Bihar, we see flood, and UP, we also see some things. So with that geographical setup, we have to plan a unified structure to connect our rivers in that situation, so that we can get equal water in every state and equal kind of resources in every state. Right? So this is my kind of proposal. So I would like to like your suggestions on that. So this is kind of thing that I would like to develop in near future if I would be elected. Thank you.
Well said, well said. That's fantastic. But here, Mr. Mohit, he highlighted one point, that was corruption. So first of all, but he did not give a solution to eradicate corruption from our nation. Corruption starts from the root cause, from the root level. Corruption is there in the ministerial department, but corruption is also there in the chief or prime of the villages, in the block development officer, BDO, in the VDO, village development officer, and even in the secretary, even in the Lekpal, even in the schools and colleges, principals, and every department is somewhere hollow because they are corrupt. Now to eradicate this corruption, I will form a department which will be politics testing department. And what will be the use of this department? This will be politics testing department means it will on monthly basis, it will check entire data and the past done works of each and every MLA, Pradhan, Mahapradhan, Block Pramukh, Member of Legislative Assembly, Member of Legislative Council, Member of Parliament, and as well as the Rajya Sabha member as well. So that it can actually have a data that are they working properly or not. Because the ministers and the politicians have a mindset that is to rule and to dominate. If they have the white kurta and pajama, they feel like they are the prime minister of the country. And they like to quarrel, fight, argue, dominate and take the bribes and do the embezzlement and scams. This is one of the root cause of the corruption. Now, everybody knows for the passport verification, we go to the police station, we don't need to pay any amount. But the people who are not aware, they pay hefty amount. They go to the police station, for the passport verification, they pay 2,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees. Is there any companion? Is there any awareness? No. And there is corruption. Even if there is corruption in every police station, police chowki, police department, there is corruption in actually, Tehsildar department, in even SDM department, in DM offices, there are people who are close to DM and they कि DM साहब से मिलना है, आप इतना हमें पकड़ा दीजिए, हम मुलाकात करवा देते हैं. There is no, as Mr. Mohit highlighted, that there is no direct touch and direct interaction. So I will form a department which will be politics testing department, and it will test each and every politician on the basis of their past, present and future visions as well. So I think this is going to help to eradicate.
I think just setting up a department will create another hustle. Like we have already so much departments in place, and he has explained that he will set a department. They have some hierarchy. Again, things will be same. Again, we have departments, we have a structure. There is a secretary, under secretary, and people like that. Same thing will happen in that department also. And who knows, that report or that analysis will be done by some. That is part that he has to do. But my view is that we have to, we are not equally equipped with changing the mentality of people. Like suppose I will teach you something like corruption is bad or racism is bad. But whenever it comes to you, what is your behavior, it ends up teaching you that what I have done is done. Like we have to just, like suppose we have earlier when I was very small and I was in school, there was a subject called moral science. And that was, I learned many things from that particular subject. And now I see this subject has been eliminated. There's no value, people are not paying value to it. This subject is strictly eliminated from the schools. I would like to, and if that happens, like it is exceeding the time, they will just have to report, they will just have to vote, and it will directly link to the higher authority in the society. And it will automatically decide, like you share your views on your Facebook and Instagram and somewhere else. So it will eventually create a massive tension in the bureaucratic system, and people will be aware like how the projects are being tampered or how it will complete in the near future. So this is the two things I will touch upon.
Sure. All right, very good. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Mohit. It was really well counter. I think it was amazing. Right, very good. I am a politician from a different party. You are a politician from different party. I am going to make some manifesto and promises to the people to cast their votes for me, and then you will be doing the same thing. Please. Assalamu alaikum, namaskar, sat shri akal, khama gani, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and all the Indians. Today, me, Muhammad Abdullah, having my party, Happiness Party, and we are going to fight the Lok Sabha election. I believe that this Lok Sabha election is going to be one of the memorable and one of the changeable and one of the changing election in the history of Bharat and India. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to ask for something from you all. Stand together, be right Indian, choose right person for your nation, for the development of your nation. And I believe our party, our manifesto, our purpose is very easy and very simple. For the society welfare, for the educational welfare, for the development welfare, for the infrastructure welfare, for the jobs and employments welfare, we are going to have so many and bring so many schemes for you all Indians, ladies and gentlemen, and for our nation. So I believe that the manifesto we are going to launch today, this manifesto is not for only richness and for the rich society and the section of the people, but it is for those people who are marginalized people, who are marginalized sections, who have been deprived from the right education, right lifestyle, right achievement, and right exactly the proposal and distribution. So please cast your vote for Happiness Party. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Good afternoon, all of you. Namaskar. I'm the representative of Bharatiya Vikas Party, and I'm going to speak about my manifesto and my goals, our goals, and that is very important thing that we all should know that where we are currently and what are our future, what are our dreams, and our country. If I talk about our country, we are in developing stage, and this journey is continuing for last 30 years. This should be developed, but still we are in developing phase. So if you really want to come out from that stage, you have to change your thought process. You have to come out from small things. You have to think about the broader sense. You have to have some broader sense about your development. The first thing you should come out is the caste politics we all do. People are trapped in that way, and they are unable to come out from that mentality. So don't go for caste and religion. Come out from that thing. That is very important thing. The second thing is we often follow the manifestos or any slogans of our parties, any other party. But before following that, try to know that what were their track record. Many politicians are involved in some kind of parties who having a criminal history, but they are very purified in very different way by polishing their image through the media section. So try to know about these things. Second thing, education is very important. Our country is facing two lackenesses. What I have felt: first is education, and second is health. We have sidelined these two important things. Arms remuneration on a very higher price from some developed countries, but you don't try to manufacturing these all things out because we have not invested too much on R&D, research and development. If we stop 1 year budget of defense sector, defense budget, we will do R&D for next 1 to 2 years, and that will cut our defense budget in coming 10 years or 20 years, or that may boost our sale of defense equipment to other countries. So why I'm telling you education is very important. It changes your thought process, and actual changes come from thought process only. If somebody is very less educated, you can find that person is trapped in a way where you can say they are not able to come because their thought process is to just earn some money and try to spend your life as an ordinary person. My manifesto or manifesto of my party is to give a better education, give better employment to the youths which we are currently facing, and the health sector is very important that we are also ignoring. It is I have observed health sector is a kind of nexus we can observe. Government hospitals are not too much expanded, which is required, but multiple private hospitals in which political involvement is there. They are expanding. They are charging multiple charges in a very insignificant way. So this should be stopped. So my priorities, the manifesto of my party is to give better employment, to give better education, and to get better health.
Bharatiya Vikas Party, right? He was claiming something, but I think he is wrong, or he may be wrong. He's saying to cut the budget from defense. But as we know, our neighboring countries are so powerful countries. We talk about the China. China is being and enlarging its ammunition and its power. We talk about Pakistan. It is ready to attack anytime. And sometime it has done it. And we talk about all the other countries' situation. For example, neighboring countries, we talk about Sri Lanka. What's the situation there? That how prime ministers and president's house has been, trapped by the, protesters and all. How Bangladesh, we saw that what is the situation right now. Apart from seeing all these, Mr. Brijesh is trying to claim that he wants to cut the budget, defense and ammunition. I don't agree with this point. The second thing he said that there should not be casteism, there should not be religionism. That's why I want to encourage you all that you should choose one of the prime minister from the minority. And I am the member of the minority. And this will be a symbol of secularism and great humanity and humanitarian. Because I have given seats and tickets to those people who are loved and liked by good people and by the people of the society. And they are going to serve for 5 and 5 and 5 and 5 years to all the sections of the society. I believe this. I'm not a single person to rule the country, but I have distributed the tickets to those people who can rule together the country. But Bharatiya Vikas Party, as I have seen, that it has given tickets to those people who are very close to them, who are their relatives, who are their, you can say that, have been associated with them for a long span of time, and they have the criminal records in the history, and that is why I think you should not cast your votes for them.
Yeah, thank you. I have some disagreement. First, I noted that we have to cut our. I'm not saying we have to cut our defense budget. I have to say that we have to reduce our defense budget, and our political situation is very stable. If you compare with the Pakistan or Sri Lanka or Bangladesh, we are a very stable country in political terms. So we are not going to dismantle the political things in our country. We are very much stable. I only stress on that point is we have to invest more and more on research and development in order to get more profit from selling the defense equipment to other countries, and less spending to purchase the defense from other countries. Secularism starts from have similar treatment to anybody. If I'm secular, that means I don't prefer any caste, creed or religion. I see everybody from same eye. I don't have any kind of disparity to people. If I'm secular, then there is a law. Every section of people may participate in the political system. There is no such chance to differentiate the people if you are following the secular system. What was the third point?
The third point was that Mr. Brijesh has so many leaders in his party having so many criminal records.
The basic structure of our party is we do not accept any criminal background people. So we have filtered that way. If anybody who is found guilty in any criminal record, we will try to eradicate it from our system. That is my process. That is my promise.
As my friend, Mr. Brijesh, I'm not agreeing.
I don't agree.
I don't agree. I don't agree with their 3 points because I'm mentioning the reasons and I am telling about my point of view on these 3 points. Okay. The first point, which has been raised by Mr. Brijesh, that we should have to cut our defense budget. Okay. And to use such budget, अभी क्या है कि जैसे बोल रहे हैं इसमें फ्लुएंसी ठीक है माइंड के अंदर है बट वो आ नहीं रहे. हाँ, फॉर द फर्स्ट पॉइंट ऑन द बजट, रिडक्शन इन बजट ऑन डिफेंस एंड टू यूज सच बजट ऑन research and development, so that their point of view is that reduction in defense budget and the usage of such budget in research and development helps our country to grow and grow our GDP in a significantly high manner. Okay, but there has a different view on this point, that we have to maintain our defense budget, or we have to focus on our defense budget despite more from earlier years, because our, like in last period, we have seen that we are a country which have been surrounded by many our neighboring countries which are influenced by a major country named China. China has been influencing this country from last many years, and we can say we are very much vulnerable from our neighboring border. So we have to maintain our defense budget in such a way, or in higher as compared to earlier year. In continuing, I want to say that there are many other aspects from which we can raise funds in India to grow, which help them to grow.
Mr. Vijay said that we should not cut our defense budget. I said we should reduce our defense budget in order to involve more research and development for production of in-house defense equipments, instead of purchasing on higher price from other countries. So that was my point. R&D basically gives an edge over the other countries who are buyers. We should be sellers instead of purchasers. So that was my point. And this should be the long-term goal. On that way, you can be an independent country. Our most of the equipments, defense equipments are Russia imported in Russia, given by Russia and other like France and US as well. So we have to be dependent for maintenance of that equipments in a longer term. If we have our defense equipments, we will be sole owner of that equipment, and there is no need to involve that countries in our defense sector. So that was my point. And R&D is very important thing that they have invested a lot for R&D. That is the reason they are the sellers of defense.
That is his claim.
That is the reason.
I agree with Mr. Brijesh that R&D must be there. Like if we see in every developed country, they are very much invested on research and development. Like if we see a company Apple, iPhone takes 2 years research and development to get started. In every technology or every business, they started after 2 or 3 invested in their research and development. So that is very much required for India also. If we are seeing a developed India in next 20 or 30 years. The point is research and development. There are lot of other issues which we have to focus. There are lot of other issues which later leads to come on research and development. Like our education system. We have to improve our education system. The way or the quality we are providing to students, or our IIT graduates and other peoples. Okay, why they are shifting to other countries? After IIT, why Google CEO Sundar Pichai left India after their studies? Because we are currently facing there a lot of other issues why people are not returning here after their education. So that we have to focus and to improve that the talent which help India in their research and development.
Mr. Vijay said about the issue of brain drain.
Yes, brain drain.
Like people study in our country, they are being well trained and they move to other country in order to deliver their capacity or skills. So that is the reason I said R&D is very important. We will be the followers in the coming 1,000 years. If you will not do R&D, you will be followers from coming years as well. R&D is very important because if you must have the new education policy 2020. It is based on some R&D that education ministry has done. and the important thing is how we implement that policy. So R&D and successful implementation of the policy is very important